Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. And now my refrigerator, whatever the sound thing, kicks on. Anyway, that's the crazy for today. If you're new here, my name is Dion. I call this TCTN, which stands for the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. And this is chapstick. I start 99.99% of my videos with chapstick or lip balm. This one is pumpkin pie scented and flavored. This video, oh my gosh, what about the intro, troll? The Crazy Troll Nation, you've already seen a little bit of it. Just having fun on your channel when you do your videos, and even if you don't do videos, enjoying the channels that you watch, enjoying your time that you spend on YouTube. The troll part is not caring too much what the beauty community standards are. You set the standard for yourself. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without makeup on. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to use, apply it however you want to, and just rock it. That's the concept here. Girl, that's the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. Loving yourself and just rocking whatever you want to wear, however you want to wear it. I do curse on my channel sometimes because I do curse in real life sometimes, and I'm distracted by a hangnail. Y'all, I am just, yeah, I already told you this is the Crazy Troll Nation. So if you're new here, I am kind of always this way, so do not be alarmed. This video is another collab with Denise. Her makeup channel here on YouTube is Denise W Beauty. I will tag her below. You can find her there. I will put her video link below, and you can click on that just to go straight to her collab video for this collab. So what we're doing is, she DM'd me a picture of a new palette that she created from Lethal Cosmetics Singles. And so my question was, well, first I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty. My next message was, what colors are those? Can you send me another picture of the palette? So she sent me another picture, and she sent me the shade names and the order that they were so I could figure out what's what. And I was like, why am I acting like I'm trying to put together a palette? It turned out I did have 6 of the shades that she picked for her 12-pan palette. And so I'm like, oh, collab? She was like, yeah. And so from the 6 looks that we have in common, not the 6 looks, from the 6 shades that we have in common, we're going to do a look with those 6 shades. I have on my lab coat because those 6 shades are in these 4 palettes. And I was like, why did I ask her to do this collab? So I'm going to show you the shades, and then I am just going to take them out because each of Lethal's palettes have, yes, I'm a label whore, as well as a chapstick whore and a brush whore, and I've been told I lick bust windows, and I feel like I'm missing something. So all of them do have holes on the back, so you can just stick either like a paper clip or even an ink pen if it's a fine point. And I do have here a pair of tweezers, so I'll just take the cap off and use one end. Don't ask me why this end is going that way. I have no idea. I forgot to mention, the only thing on my face right now is Fenty Brow MVP and the Fenty primer and foundation. You saw me apply chapstick. So let me find the shades and show you what they are, hoping I don't confuse my damn self. And then I'm going to take them out and then show you so you can see the color story without seeing all the other colors. And unfortunately, I do not have a magnetic palette to put them on, so I'll just have to like hold them up and show you. So I'm hoping I'm able to do this in a way that you're able to see what I'm doing. And I could, you know what, also I could do swatches on the back of my hand, but let me just get to what the 6 shades are that she has in her palette along with the other 6. So this is the color story that we have. I did take all the shadows out. Again, this one is lithium, and I am going to just swatch these on the back of my hand. I seldom swatch shadows before I do a look, and somebody was saying how I was bold for doing that. And I usually do swatches on my forehead too, because as you see, my hand is not the same shade as my face. And so for a better representation of what a shadow will look like on my lids, that's why I do swatches on my forehead. So we're just going to swatch that again. So this is lithium. That's not a good swatch. I'm trying to get the color. There we go. Oh, I'm ashy. Look how ashy that is. Yeah, I needed to point that out. Mycelium. It does have the label on the back. This is Orchard. And we're going to put that here. I need to make them wider so you can see them better. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? This one here is Event Horizon, and this shade, I look. You see this? Do you see this? Because it's like green and purple and whatever this is. I love this shade. And so that we're going to put here. You see that green, and then it's purple, and then so you see the green up here and you see the purple down here. Next two are mattes, and this is Lure. It says the label they put on the back. This is that. This will most likely go in transition, and this one is Trespass. And we're going to put, I almost don't even see Lure. I was going to say I can't see it, but I can, but it's like barely there. So these are, girl. And it looks like this would go with this one and this one, but because it turns green. Excuse me if you heard that. Troll, you're so rude. Denise and I are supposed to meet in June, and you'll see this in June, but I'm excited too. Because for me, if we're like an hour or so away from each other or closer, I'm like, let's just meet. Like, what? And so we're actually going to meet, and so I'm excited about that. So this is the color story that we have to work with, and because this one is a dual chrome, I don't know what it's going to look like when I put it on. And again, we didn't specify using all the shades or not. I know I'm going to use the two mattes, but y'all know I want to use all of these too. Let's get into the look. I'm going to prime my lid with the Fenty eyeshadow primer. We're going to take what's called a blending brush, but for me it's a packer and a blender, and this is a Fenty 230. I do have links for these brushes down below. This is my sell-in. We're going to take this one. I did arrange the shadows in a way that I'm going to apply them, whether it comes out that way or not. Well, I mean, whether the look turns out nice or not, I don't know. Hence again, the lab coat. Thank you, Denise, for this collab. We did do a collab before. If you enjoy Shop My Stash videos, I watched one of her videos actually yesterday, because now it's December. Girl. June 2nd. It's like 1:15 in the morning. So June 1st, she did a video of luxury and high-end makeup that was overrated. And what I appreciated about her video is that she gave alternatives. So if it was like, okay, I don't like this primer, and she said why, which I appreciate that as well, then she would give a primer or show a primer that she did like. And so I really appreciated that. So if you like those types of videos, she's really good at explaining why she likes something and why she doesn't, which is always helpful to me, because some people be like, oh, I just don't like it. And I'm like, why? Troll here wants to know. So that's all we're going to do with that shade. We're going to flip this brush over and go into Orchard, this shade. There's a method to the madness here, because the shade we're putting on our outer corner, it is a multi-chrome, dual chrome, whatever, but it turns very dark. And so that's why I'm putting pudding pops. Yeah, I'm having issues speaking, but that's why I am putting that one on the outer corner and hoping that these two blend into something decent right here. Oh, and it is. We're going to take Event Horizon, this shade right here. So you see why I put this here, or why I decided to put this here. And we're just going to lightly blend those together. Y'all, look at this. We're going to take a tapered blending brush, and we're going to go into Lure. And this is going to be our it's going to go right here. A transition shade. This is great for blended. Wow, you see that? This can be the look. Actually, the first two shades could have been your look because of how they blended. Put this one on first half and this one on second half, and that's it. Maybe put this on lower lash line just to have that visual interest, because it is a dual chrome, multi-chrome, chrome, something. So we're just going to tap straight in. And again, this is Trespass. And we are just going to just do like an outer V, because this is a matte. And so it'll take away maybe some of the shine from the dual chrome. I don't use multiple palettes for looks, so this is new for me. And that's why I put on a lab coat, because I just pick up a palette. That's the palette that I use. Unless I need, like, not need, but if I want like a black or a dark brown, I'll go into a palette with that. But how all 5 of these shades I'm showing you are from 3 different palettes. Yeah, and then Lithium is in here. That's the 4th palette. I don't do this. And so I was just like, this is a Fenty brush. I have a link for this down below too. This is called the Precision brush, and it's a number 220. So we're going to go into the Velvet Dust palette, and we're going to take Lithium. We're going to tap straight in, tap off, and that is going to go thin line as possible, because this is a metallic, and I don't really like a lot of shimmer in this area, because then it accentuates all of this puffiness that I got going on. We're going to take the one we used for Lure, this shade, and we're going to tap straight in again, and we're just going to dust over where we just put Lithium. We're going to take a NYX retractable eyeliner in Golden Olive, and we're going to put this on our lower lash line. I'm going to powder down my face. I'm going to take the Fashion Fair Truly Tawny powder. The shade is Truly Tawny. It's called Fashion Fair Set It Loose. I have a lot of links below. I have a link for this stuff too. The stuff I use most often is usually always linked down below. So if you're wondering about something, just click and look in the description box. Take a stubby eyeliner brush, and we're going to take Mycelium, this shade here, which I believe was that first shade that we used. I'm pretty sure it was. And we're just going to press this on top of that gel liner. We're going to take the brush that had Lure, this transition shade, and we're not adding any shadow on the brush. We are just using whatever's left in the brush just to buff that out. We're going to use our Lethal Face palette. It's very reflective, that's why I held it that way. This is what it looks like. The highlighter is Gravity, the blush is Enchanapis, and the bronzer is Caldera. We're going to use 2 of the Fenty face brushes. This is a 125 brush, and we're first going to go, I probably should use a more flimsy brush. So we're going to, oh, this is a lethal brush. I meant to pick up the Javanese brush, because that one is very loose as well. So we're going to put this here and here. Looks like more on this side, so we're just going to just blend this whole corner, and we're going to do our 5 head. So I'm getting the corners first, and then I tap across, and then I do circular motions to blend that out. This is how I do things. You don't have to do things the way that I do, but this is what I find works for me, and that blended out very well. I say as I keep blending, and we're going to just take a little bit more and run it along under our jawline, under here. And we're going to just go in again, tap off, and get here. And I do put some on my chin, like just right here. That's why I do that, tapping it again, and put a little on my nose. I do not like my nose to look like a disco ball. And I know that's the thing, you know, people highlighting the tip of their nose, and I don't understand why. I seriously don't. I don't understand why you want your nose to be glowing. That's just a me thing. That's just something I don't understand. We're going to take the blush brush. This is the Fenty one. And we're going to go into the blush. And we're going to, whoo, y'all, these colors show up. I'm just going to blend. I'm going to edit this out. I don't think it's going to take too long. No, it's not taking long. When the very first time I used these, the bronzer, this blush, I was like, oh. I was like, oh, but look how they blend out though. So I have learned to go in with a light hand to start with, because I was just like, and I was just like, whoa, like mistakes were made, but they blend out extremely well. And now we're going to take a highlighter brush. This is another Fenty brush. I love these brushes. This is the 120. We're going to go into the highlight. We're going to wiggle, wiggle, tap off, and we're going to, that looks like Mycelium, doesn't it though? Okay, that's too much. That's too much. Too much. Too much. What's this right here? And this is Gravity. Ooh. 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 Okay, we're going to go with the blush brush. And we're just, yeah, we're just going on over the line here because I like a subtle highlight. Like, it has this moments. And I like that when I look straight, you don't see it. And then when you turn, it's just like, whoa. Where'd it go? Whoa. I'm digging it. So we're going to put those away. We're going to go into our, excuse me for that. I was just thinking there's other stuff I need to do in my face. This is Ambient Hourglass Powder. This one is Dim Light. And we're going to use this to set the face. Am I ready to set the face? So we're just going to wiggle this and turn this all the way around, all different kind of ways. A setting powder is to set your foundation. A finishing powder, excuse me for smacking, is a powder you use to set your entire face after everything is done. So that's the difference between those. And for me, I find that the texture for the finishing powder is more thin than the setting powder. Or maybe it just feels that way because it's not going over a liquid foundation. It's going over a bunch of other powders. But for me, it just like blends everything in together. There's no harsh lines. And sometimes if I have a harsh line for blush or bronzer, by the time I put the finishing powder on it, it just blurs. It just blurs everything together. But you can still see the distinct colors. You can still right here see the bronzer. And you see the blush, you see the highlight. There's, y'all, I love it. We're going to put on Fortune, mascara primer, and mascara. Then we will come back and figure out a lip. We're going to wipe off some chapstick. For our lippy, we're going in with the Sephora Collection number 29 Dark Forest. Yeah, I'm really be tightening these things. We're going to put this on and come right back. Y'all, I love this lip. This here is a finished look. Thank you again, Denise, for this collab. Please do check out her channel. I think you'll enjoy her content. And this is what we have. I am excited for it. I am always excited to use what I have because I only keep things that I really enjoy. And so when I go back to it, I'm just like, oh, it's like falling in love for the first time. And I do got fallout on my lab coat. But anyway, let me know what you think of this look. If you're here from Denise's channel, thank you for visiting me. If you haven't been to her channel, make sure you check her out. So rude, excuse me. If you haven't been to her channel before, let her know Dion the Troll sent you. And yeah, I don't know what I was looking for. I did tell y'all this the crazy troll nation, right? So this is what we have. I'm really loving the look. I'm loving my little double wing thing that I've been doing lately with the light shade under here and doing the contrasting color on the upper lash line. And even though that is a very deep green, it shows up like a greenish black. So it's really not obvious to the naked eye that it's not black. But for detail-oriented people, they'll be like, dang, what is that? What color is that? I'm liking how we got all the colors to work. I'm loving the combination. And I'm thankful for this collab because, again, I would not have just went in those palettes and just picked out this shade, that shade, another shade, another shade. But I'm thinking I really do want to start experimenting with that. But it's just a habit to just like pick up a palette and just do a look, you know what I mean? And because I enjoy every palette on its own, it's not a thought of, let me do this and that and do this and that, you know what I mean? And so again, this was the color story we had. These were the 6 shades that we used. I do believe inner lid, center lid, outer lid, transition, deep and outer corner, brow bone, this is lithium, and this is lower lash line over a golden olive gel liner. So we did it, y'all. It may not really have looked like they would go, but they all went. We did it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that button. click the like button as well while you're clicking, and also click to leave a comment. I do reply back to everybody. I love the interaction. I love the chit chat. I love hearing what your thoughts are and your ideas are. And I do take subscriber requests, and usually that's when I wear a lab coat. And I specifically got this lab coat because somebody Dawn kept requesting stuff, and so I'm like, okay, we're going to experiment and do Dawn's requests, and other people did requests too, and so I really do enjoy that. And I'm going to go now. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon.